Hello, Dawnstar here. I just wanted to take a quick stab at making a Guild Wars video because mostly for myself to look back at my gameplay and all of the things that I mess up and all the dodges that I make and times that I'm panic clicking. I find that watching your gameplay back is actually really helpful. So I just wanted to make a video for some Harb gameplay because I've really been enjoying Power Harb. So if you're watching this, appreciate you. But this video is mostly for me. Maybe I'll make some more in the future if you like it. But yeah, let's get into the build. So the build I'm running is Sword Harb. It's pretty similar to the Staff Harbinger, where you take Staff and Spear, but for this build I'm taking dual swords and Spear. I think the only difference really with taking Staff is that you take Transfusion, just because of the healing. It's kind of overpowered, but I just personally really like how the swords play, and so that's what I usually take when I'm playing Harbinger. In terms of equipment, I believe that the other Harbinger builds typically take Lynx and Centaur, but I just prefer to take Doliac and Wayfinder. I've just found that that just works really well for me, so feel free to swap these out. You don't have to use the same build that I'm on. So getting into the game, I always like to check what is on my team and what's on the enemy team. That way I can see if I want to change anything in my build, if I need to switch. I mean, this is unranked, so it's not, that important, especially if you're trying to practice a build, but I see on their team that they have 2 Thieves and a Vert. Typically, I find just myself when I'm on Necro, I struggle with the high mobility classes, just because, they're very quick, they have a lot of stealth, and as a Necro, like, you don't have as much mobility as, say, a Thief or a Mesmer. But I think in this particular game, I think my swords are going to really help me against these Thieves because I've got, the leap on the 3, as well as like the projectiles on the sword, which is going to help me out. I am concerned about Reflex with having, a Vert and an Ellie on their team, but here I'm just checking to see if my Ellie is support, and he is not because he's got 2 daggers, so I'm not expecting him to be doing too much supporting, but it's always good to just check what's going on your team and on the enemy team to see if you need to adjust. So starting up on the game here, I'm expecting that one of my either druid or my 2 warriors is going to go home. Typically as a Harb, you're mostly a duelist, but in this particular game I decided to play it sort of more as a team fight DPS. So I see that one of my warriors is going home. I'm just keeping an eye. I don't want to be the first one in because I don't want to get too pressured, but there's only 2 people here at mid, which is kind of strange. I see that the mech is going home, so I just keep an eye on that on the map to make sure that our warrior is okay. Here, I don't think that the Ellie is the best target for me. He's got a lot of reflex, but I see that my whole team is on him, so I'm obviously not gonna not attack him, and so we end up taking him down. And here, I'm just kind of hovering between home and mid. It's not my responsibility to roam the map on Harbinger as much, so I'm letting my teammate take that, but I was just looking to see what's going on there. I decide not to chase the Thief because I've got 2 teammates, but I look at the map. Map is pretty good, mid's alright, so I'm just gonna hover on top of this ledge to go help with the team fight because that's where I want to be. So here I pick out one of the Thieves. I see that he's low, he's ported away, but I don't want to go in too deep because I see that my team is on the node, and so I don't obviously want to get caught out on my own. I played with Action Cam, and I realized there that my target was the wrong guy, so I was gonna chase that guy going towards our spawn, but I ended up doing a 180, but it ends up working out because we get the kill here. We end up rallying our teammate, which is great, but he's very low, and so I'm trying to fear this Ellie off of him, but it doesn't exactly work out. So he ends up getting away and he starts retreating towards mid, but I realize that I am low and I'm alone, so I'm kind of panicking here with my skills. I misclicked there a little bit, but I get the Connies off of me, and then I start fighting this mech, and I feel like I can take this duel on my own, but my teammate jumps in to help me anyway because the map is ours. So we end up getting the kill on him, and who is this? The thief, yes, the thief. There's always a thief. So I'm right here, I'm focusing on making sure that that kill gets finished. Now I know a mechanist can't res himself with his mech, but for some reason whenever I see a mechanist I always think of them like a ranger, and I think that their mech is gonna start resing them, so there's like a weird irrational panic that happens. Anyway, so here I'm fighting the thief. I'm just keeping an eye on the map because I know my teammates are on the node kind of behind me, but I can see that they're pushing too far a little bit, so I'm being cautious fighting this thief. I think I can take him in a duel, but I know that the enemy team is going to be funneling in at some point because my team has extended over into far. But anyway, I think we end up winning this fight because Harbinger is just so strong. Look at that shotgun blast that I'm hitting him with as he's running away. I find the Harbinger spear like so fun to play with, and you'll see in this game a lot. I keep trying to hit what I like to call the jump scare combo, where you hit the spear 4 and then 2 when you're teleporting. So you kind of like jump at them and hit them with the spear 2 shotgun blast, and it's really satisfying when you're able to hit it. But it's difficult when you know, enemies have blinds or they dodge or a reflect or anything like that. It kind of screws it up. So it's not always doable to hit that combo, but it is really fun when you do. So here I'm just looking at the map, seeing what's going on. The map is, our team is doing a really good job rotating. I think our druid has been holding out pretty well on the side nodes. Here I get a little bit greedy and I chase this mech, and then I realize, yeah, I could chase this mech. Yeah, my teammates got the node, but I'm not going to chase them all the way to the spawn because that wouldn't be good. So I turn around to help with this team fight again. The thief, I see that the thief is low, but then I see the vert who's even squishier, and so I decide to switch to him. Looking around, trying to see. It's so chaotic when you're playing action cam. It's so chaotic trying to like twist and turn and look around. But we get the Ellie down here, and unfortunately it looks like my teammate goes down, and I should have just cleaved rather than going for the stomp there. You can see I kind of shake my mouse like, oh, I screwed that up. But I shouldn't be chasing this Ellie here. I should turn around and help my team, and I think that's what I end up doing. I see that I'm getting pretty pressured, so I go to get some hits on the down body in case I go down, then I can rally right away. I'm kind of, again, panicking here with my elixirs, but trying to just make sure that I kite away from this thief that's harassing me, which is kind of the way it goes when you're playing Necro against a thief. But I ended up kiting, getting lots of my cooldowns back, and I see that my teammate's getting quite pressured, so I tried to jump in and get some fears. This vert is low, and I know he's squishy, so I just try to finish him off. But he does a pretty decent job of trying to get away from me until I catch him in that lift, unfortunately. I hit him with a really long range sword projectile, which is a bummer here. I also should have cleaved. My teammate goes down, but because he wasn't fighting the vert, he didn't rally him, which was pretty good. So I get kind of greedy here. Huge shout out to my druid for stealthing me out of that. That was like super nice of him to do. But I see that he's gone in now, and he could use a little bit of peel, so I turn around since the rest of the map is alright. My team is sitting on mid. I'm getting hit by the thief here, so I try to like block line of sight so that he can't plonk me with his little projectiles, and I get my Connies off me, and I'm just kind of waiting for some cooldowns. But I see that my druid, bless his heart, who saved me, is in deep, and so I try to get in and help him, but unfortunately there's not too much I can do. So I drop the I drop the lift to try to get him to peel, but he ends up going down around the corner to, I believe, the thief who ported onto him. So another team fight. I don't have a ton of cooldowns for this fight, and I'm trying to pick, you know, a target. I think I picked the wrong one here because I don't think that the Ellie is the target here. I think one of the squishier thieves would be the target, so you can kind of see I switch here to try and help. I actually get this res, which is like, I was shocked that I was able to get that res, but you know, it's the power of a tanky Harbinger. But I'm taking a lot of damage, so I'm trying to kite around using some of my Harb mobility, trying to get this thief to leave me alone. So I see that he's not gonna leave me alone, so I go in and try and get some damage on the down, just in case I go down, I can rally. Once my teammates kill him, if they kill him. I keep peeling, keep running, I got lots of condies, but I cleared them off, and my team has cleaned up the rest of the fight, so we pretty much win at this point. I see that my teammates are going to do something silly over by the red spawn, so I think, why not? I'll go and cap far, you know. Usually I wouldn't do something like that, but we're like about to win anyway, so might as well just speed it up by going to cap the node. And that's pretty much how this game went. So Harb is really, really good. I like the mobility on it. It feels incredibly strong. You know, this game I had some really good teammates who were really good at peeling thieves off of me and helping me out when I needed it. But yeah, this is funny here. I see the vert stealth up, so I think he's gonna jump me. So I try to time it properly and lift him, but I just miss it, and then the game ends. So I don't get to actually duel him, but that would have been a fun duel. So that's the gameplay. If you watched this far, I appreciate it, and I'll see you around.